we have been monitoring really closely the numbers ever since we began this podcast. It's very interesting to see how they go up and down and fluctuate and year to year, week to week, month to month, whatever it might be. Well, probably, Dustin, one of the more interesting things that we've seen here is the fact that the New Jersey numbers came out and everybody was kind of like, wait. What do those numbers actually say? Like, let's talk about these New Jersey numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the top line number is that revenue was actually up year over year, which sounds like a wild proposition, but it was up. This is, why that is. It's probably a lot of betting on fringe sports that people don't know as well. So sportsbooks were doing better versus the public in terms of that. But New Jersey actually made $12 million in operator revenue from sports betting in June, from a little over 9 million, I believe, last June, and that's with a lot more betting. There was I believe, just under 170 million in total handle in New Jersey in June, which is, I'd say probably about a third of what we'd expect right now if everything were going according to normal in the sports world. So that's also why we track handle in terms of growth of the market, because revenue can be highly variable in any single month, and is not a great indicator of growth. It's kind of just a snapshot of how the sports books did against bettors in a certain month. So it's certainly it's good for the state and for the sports books that they're making some money. Obviously not good for bettors that they're losing a lot of money on these fringe sports, but as we all know, July, we're hoping that some normal sports come back and maybe a little less of an edge for the sports books versus the public.
And Adam, it'll probably be fairly interesting whenever we get the numbers back from July here, just strictly to see. I mean, look, we have a golf tournament that started today that was a very big that was a very big buzz around it because Tiger Woods was coming back. It was the first time he was going. We were hearing numbers coming out of a lot of these sports books saying like they were seeing handle that they could not imagine on a tournament like this with the Memorial that's going off. So, I mean, can golf basically carry the water here? Now we will have, fingers crossed, again, we're still a little, we should have a week of baseball in there as well, but will that be enough to kind of make these numbers interesting? It'll be fun.
It could be, Matt. And I think the question we're going to find out is, were you betting on table tennis because it was the only thing there? Or do you now fancy yourself a table tennis expert, right? How much actual demand is there in the market? Are the people who have been coming in and betting these fringe sports going to go back to what they usually do, which is betting on the big four major sports and then college football, if that does actually happen this fall? So, we'll see. I think August will give you a better picture than July, assuming that we were able, of course, to keep these bubbles going all the way through August. And then we don't know what's coming with the NFL in September. But it should be a very interesting look for golf, as you just mentioned, because of the Tiger effect, right? He's not going to play that much. I mean, at this point in Tiger's career, you're going to get anywhere between 12 and 18 events out of Tiger every year. It just so happens this is one where he has 5 victories in the past and was able to generate a lot of interest, both for betting and for hopefully TV ratings as well.
So what about Pennsylvania? With the New Jersey numbers looking interesting, what did we see come out of Pennsylvania?
So Pennsylvania, roughly $90 million wagered, revenue about slightly up, we'll say, from last month. Not quite on par with what we saw in New Jersey, but really not a bad month. Third consecutive month that we've seen revenue go up in Pennsylvania, and a good trend overall. I think the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York market, especially going to be prone to those major league sports coming back, and we'll see how much pent up demand there has been there for what is a dense pro sports market in the Northeast.
And Dustin, we don't talk about it a ton here on this, but what have we seen just from the casino side of things there in New Jersey and Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing about this. We always focus on sports betting. That's what this podcast is about. But the casino part is just huge and has been. Almost $85 million in operator revenue in New Jersey, $50 million in operator revenue in Pennsylvania. So a lot of money going through companies there, and that's turning into tax revenue. And it's plateaued a little bit in June as summer comes around and as casinos start to actually open up. But this is a big part of this. We're going to see the dynamic on display in Michigan, and the two things help each other out: sports betting online casino go hand in hand. So we'll continue to track it, and it's an interesting dynamic. But it is, this is a big bottom line helper for the casinos in both Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and will be in Michigan as well.